Oh, we about to get into this. Okay? We are about to get into this. So I want everybody to note that yes, I was aggravated, but I'm aggravated over something else. I'm gonna try to remain calm through this video. Keep my blood pressure low. Because that has nothing really to do with this. It's about something else that's going on. But don't forget to like, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell. And once again, thank you again for subscribing to the page. The Patreon is Carcino for Life. We're going to go into how they've been mind controlling you too on the Patreon today, as well as all the other things that we've talked about. Now, anyway, we'll move on into what this topic is about. Joe Budden finally speaks about the Game diss track towards Eminem called The Black Slim Shady. Now, let's go into that. They literally said absolutely nothing. We heard more from the two sidekicks than we heard from Joe Budden about the record, about anything. Totally different in contrast. Totally different in contrast. Than when Eminem dropped Rap Devil. Total difference of energy. This is the old busted and broken down Joe. He got too much money to care Joe now. Now I gotta toe the line because I don't want to mess up my bag, Joe. So he gives you no real fair take of the music whatsoever. He tries to act as if I really haven't even heard the album. The song, I mean, it was okay, but it's not his best work. The sidekicks had more to say than Joe. As if he's been told and warned and got a pat on the shoulder saying, Joe, we gonna shut your it down if you speak on us like that again. And this is why the Joe Budden podcast is not what it used to be. It is watered down, methodical, nothing now. It's lost its soul. These two guys, no offense to you guys, but y'all are not it. The replacement Monroe and Mall is not cutting it. And just because they're talking more, don't mean that they're adding more. That's a bar. Now, how should we go ahead and address this? The old Joe would have been in a wife beater saying stuff like this.
I'm not mesmerized here.
Just to be clear, it is okay, Joe Budden, to critique Eminem. Or is it anymore? Have y'all noticed the drop off? When you add these two people in there, it's not y'all two fault. Y'all doing the best of your abilities. But you just don't mesh well with him because he's in a different mindset. This is, I got the bag. I'm making too much money to care to make waves and tell people the truth. I got my Yeti over here. Fill up with my green Java juice. I'm out. Y'all can have it. Y'all tell me what y'all think about the album. And when they call me from Shady Records or Paul Rosenberg hits me on the email, I'm going to say, I didn't say anything. I barely said anything about it. About the game disc. I really gave it any thought. That was the guys. They just did it for the podcast show, giving their opinions. I just kind of sit back because I really didn't care. This is what you get, people. Then you start seeing where people say, hey, this ain't the same groove. This ain't the same show we signed up for. This isn't the same movement. Now you see why people say that. They're looking right at it. You looking right at it. You're looking dead smack in the face of someone who don't get it. They think now, oh, I've made it. I'm going to get 200,000 views a day no matter what I do. I could blow my nose now. I now have a team that's going to run the social media the way it needs to be. So they're going to get 200,000 hits no matter what. Oh, have the mighty has fallen. They're already on another episode. But it's okay. It is okay to speak about Eminem. But that's why I told y'all, the great Joe Budden podcast shows is in the past. It's over.
Understand it.
The best Joe Budden podcast show was with Rory and Maul. With that gone, that Joe, that energy is gone. That's old man Joe. He's robbing you. When have you seen a Joe Budden podcast and you were entertained anymore? It's over. He's done. He doesn't want to do this every day. Now it's a job. So he let them do all the talking. Why he just sits back and play on his PC? That's what you signed up for. It says the Joe Budden podcast, not the two guys on my left and right. Whatever happened to being able to tell the truth? It's okay to review the game's disc record. But to sit there and act as if, as an MC, saying, oh, game could do better. Well, what party needed to do better on? Critique it. Isn't that why you're here? Isn't that why they paid you thousands upon thousands of dollars? That's your job. I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you what your job is. You know your job. But y'all keep giving allowances. Back when I told y'all, don't. Y'all, no, Joe got this. Joe the man. Joe got it all. Joe, Joe, Joe. That's all I heard. Joe, Joe, and Joe. That's all I heard. Joe got it. Joe gonna deliver. That's what y'all told me. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that, Joe. Now tell me, why has it become such a hard thing to do, ladies and gentlemen? Tell me, why has it become such a hard feat for people to be real? Why are they not real anymore? Now, if you can't critique it because it's going to affect your relationship with Royce or Eminem, Royce don't seem to give a damn. At least Royce critiqued it. He didn't run from it. Because I wanted to see was Royce going to critique it and give an honest opinion on what he thought about the project. I said, well, let me see what Royce do here. Because that's gonna tell me a lot. I said, let me see what Royce do. That's gonna tell me a lot. That's what I was saying. I'm like, I'm gonna see what happens. Because that's gonna tell me a lot about what's going on. I'm gonna see if Royce gonna do some things and say a few things. But then he said, I hadn't even talked to Eminem. Well, he said Marshall because he calls him Marshall. So he hadn't even talked to him at the time we spoke, and he brought me up on there. So he had never spoke to Eminem, which in my opinion was pretty cool. It's acceptable. All the hoarders are home. Mother, the hell was that? I done shot myself with the hose. Damn them hoarders. Good Lord, that's just ridiculous. I done turned into one of them. Old people watching other people. Yeah, walking fire hydrant. All them damn cardboard boxes in there. But they got old newspapers and stuff. Any fire kick off, that house going up in a blaze. But anyway. But do you see what I mean? They pay for this traffic so they can be in the top searches and everything else. They pay for all of that. So when you pay for it, like people say, you get what you pay for. That's what it is. You get what you pay for. Straight like that. You get what you pay for. Know what I mean? So if you get what you pay for, this is the results. This is the results of you get what you pay for. So if I decide to take that route, everybody can go in a different direction. But this is why Joe, his whole thing of how it's about respect, it's not about money and all that, bull. It's about Joe having control and power. And if Joe don't have the control and power to get the money, and you're not paying Joe the money Joe wants, because in the end of the day, all Joe rant and all this about I'm standing for the culture, no, he's standing for the dollar. Every instance with Joe was about money. And it wasn't just about money. It was about, okay, this isn't just about money. It's about the back end of the money. I'm learning the business as I go. He tried to sell the Joe Budden podcast for cheap when he was with Complex. He tried to get Complex to buy it. Complex was stupid not to buy the Joe Budden podcast. But then again, in the end, they were geniuses because Joe would have quit the show. He would have quit his own podcast, started another one, and he couldn't call it the Joe Budden podcast no more. Because it would have been sold. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to engage in conflict and conversations with idiots over topics and situations that we should already know. I was heated earlier about something else entirely. And we'll probably cover that later. But I'm waiting on an email to come back. And if it says something crazy again, then I might blow my top and go full Tupac on everybody. But the message was clear. The message was clear. I had no problem with none of this stuff. My thing is, if you don't like Game's song, that's cool. Tell Game you don't like the diss record, and everything will be fine. That's all I'm saying. If you don't like the Game diss record, that's cool. Just say what you don't like about it. Break it down. Critique it. Nobody asks you to kiss up to the Game, or you gotta, because you don't want to piss off the Game, or you don't want to make Eminem, you know, how it went last time you critiqued something. So everybody wanted to hear what you had to say. But don't go up there and let your co-host do all your show because you scared to say something now. You like a neutered dog up there now. What in the hell we listening to that for? Where's the passion? Where's the passion? Rappers battling non-rappers, carrying on backwards. Exactly. Dude, the people need to know the truth. The people need to know the truth. That's the thing. People have been lied to their entire lives. Spit the truth. The truth, believe me, it's a heavy weight and a burden to carry. But it carries far more weight than ever. Do I think Eminem messed up Slaughterhouse? Absolutely not. The first album, yes. Was it fixable? Yes. But I think out of all the groups, Slaughterhouse had more support than a lot of them. I don't think M supported the D12 albums the way he should have. Now, you would say, well, D12, that's his buddies. You know, he did a lot more for them. He did not. I'm going to tell you, the way he handled the D12 situation was not how you handle somebody if you are a member of the Dirty Dozen. Like, this ain't a group he inherited. You know, he was a member. You know, he wasn't a member of Slaughterhouse. He just put himself with Slaughterhouse. Grab Yellow Wolf, the whole nine, you know, like, but that they were not, you know, they were not those guys. When the album came out and everybody thought, oh, this is gonna be it, instead of letting them make the album and standing out the way, M went to produce it to, you know, like he said, make it more polished. But they weren't feeling the beats. And when you're in a group and you got these guys saying, man, I want this movement. Like, I want this. This is the movement. I need this to happen. I need this and such to kick off right. Because this is my look. This is for me. Once you start down that road, you have already screwed up. Because somebody will say, I think this beat sucks. But if Eminem is bobbing his head saying, man, y'all in this big high-priced studio and got all the beats going, everybody else gonna say, well, damn. You know, he's Eminem, he do sell records. Maybe he knows something we don't. So we gonna roll with it, even though we don't agree that these beats aren't for us. D12 might can rap to this, but we can't. But he thought he was doing what was best for him. So the second time, he just like, look, I'm going to stand back and get out y'all way and let y'all do it. We got enough songs. Y'all could just come in and, you know, put a couple more records in play and we got it. But when you don't have the communication, because y'all don't have the same rapport with M like everybody else, everyone assumed that everybody in the group in D12 could just contact Eminem. Not everybody had that access. And then when they had that access, they just like misused it. It was, you know, it's a bad fix, a bad mode. I never thought it was anything that could be done in that situation, man. For real. I never looked at it that way. I never looked at it as Slaughterhouse got a raw deal. I looked at it as Joe told his side and how he felt. And the sometimes lack of communication or lack of access of communication, if it's no phone contact and it's just an email going back and forth, you're not used to that connection. I'm going through that BS right now. So I know exactly how Joe felt. I'm like, look, I'm the type that want to get you on the phone. If we got a problem, let's get on the phone so we can settle everything in a phone call. I don't have time to go email and wait another hour or two to get another email. I'm like, nah, I don't do that. Let's get this, because now you playing with my time over nonsense that could be solved in seconds. You know, so we can get the ball rolling in the right direction. Let's just have a phone call and go from there. I don't need to be like calling you 20, 30 times like, hey. Look, I'm not a fanboy. I don't do that shit. You know, that's my whole take. I know, because that's what we know as people, right? But the Joe Budden you seeing now is the rich. I got my money, and the passion ain't there anymore. So he's just like the artist, or Eminem, as you could say, who basically said he's disconnected from the environment. That's Joe Budden right now. He's disconnected from all of it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about this music no more. Think he's sitting there caring about the rapper and the rhyme that he said? Joe could care less. But boy, oh boy, do I remember how it was like 4 years ago. Do we miss that Joe Budden? Boy, oh boy, that's the most honest Joe you're gonna get. Not gonna get that now, but boy, oh boy, before he got settled and comfortable and got his money and got all fat cat on us, man, he was something, wasn't he? That was a trailblazer. That was somebody who ain't figured it out yet. That was somebody who the people could relate to and get behind. That was a somebody. Ha cha 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 cha. Because Joe would straight up tell you, right? He wouldn't lie. He wouldn't meddle around. He would straight tell you.
I'm not mesmerized here.
With D12, M should have definitely sat down, talked to D12, said, look, I don't feel this is working no more. Like, it's different. I feel the difference. It just ain't hitting no more. I don't feel like it's working. You know, like, I love you guys, man. You guys are my dudes, but I don't feel it. You gotta feel that, right? Y'all don't feel that, right? I'm not alone in this, right? So y'all can go ahead and start doing what y'all. He never did that. He basically cast them to the side and tried to replace them. He basically made them G Unit. He changed D12 into G Unit, and they just morphed into G Unit till they was just like one band. They weren't really D12 anymore. They were just all G Unit. G Unit was who he was trying to be. He was trying to be the white 50 Cent. So he was merging into that, lifting weights and trying to get buff. And he's the white version, D12 with G Unit. Now we whooping everybody. Yeah, what's up? Shady Aftermath. Now he's the big enforcer. For what? You Eminem. Be Eminem. Why would you try to be something that you're not? You don't need to be that. You Eminem. So why do you feel a need to change? You don't gotta be no tough guy and then try to go all the way back to be the guy who you are. So the game basically put a lot of points out there. So the record was good. Like I said, people tried to attack the game or try to attack Eminem with brute force. Like, man, how you gonna talk, white boy? Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I smacked you up, white boy. Man, you know, all the tough talk. Eminem attacks people with comedy. So no one ever tries to use comedy to come back. And Game used comedy. And Game is a brutal come forth type of MC. Now, if you use comedy, that's a whole different take from Game. Game don't normally use a light approach, which he was doing the Slim Shady approach. He was like, I'm gonna come at you how Slim Shady do, real light. Now, what happens when that light fades and it turns into darkness? Then what happens? Then what have you? You see, that's what people got to start to realize. What happens after the fact? Because Joe fell off. And that's just real talk. He fell off hard. And a lot of it could have been solved with a conversation with Slaughterhouse, because it wasn't just an Eminem situation. It was a Eminem and Slaughterhouse situation, which means everybody's mind is not thinking like Joe. It's not just Eminem. Everybody else is on board with that. Like, look, dude, yeah, there were some problems, but it ain't enough to rock the boat. Joe's like, the boat is being rocked. I'm leaving. Joe was leaving because his vocals got cut. His feelings was hurt. He want to leave the group. He feels like, I'm the biggest star in the group. I'm the most popular person in this group besides Eminem. Meaning, just out of all of us, I'm the most popular. How you gonna cut my verses off? Then my creative ideas have other people putting their input in my ideas. Joe don't like that. So when it gets to a Joe don't like that situation, and everybody's saying, well, we're gonna do this, and Joe's outvoted, Joe walks away. Joe grabs his toys and walk away. Because no one's agreeing to do it the way Joe wants it done. Sounds familiar? Telling you. This is no defending Eminem. It's no defending anybody. It's being truthful to the process. Eminem brought some shitty beats to the table. They didn't like it, but nobody had the balls to say anything. But Joe knows the beats are terrible. But they say, hey, this is Eminem. He know more than me. He's selling 1 million records. Who am I? Let's see what it do. Then you get West Side and Conway, right? What happened there? It's quite simple to see. West Side and Conway, that was a big major problem. They didn't know what they were doing there. And why is that? Because everyone feels that their way has to be the way to go. They got Boogie. I ain't seen Boogie do a damn thing since he's with Shady. Where's the push? Where's the dollars? Where's the support? So why would you sign the Shady Records? That's how I look at it. They got one client that they care about. Slim Shady. One. So, how far that's gonna get you as a record label? Just saying. To me, it's very simple. So I know how Joe felt back in the day, but a lot of it was around money. Three, 4 years ago, Joe was broke. Now broke by the standards of how things were back then. Compared to the Joe 3 years later, way more broker then. By Hollywood standards, he was broke. But if you look at Boogie, look at Conway and West Side, and what was happening there. Did they roll in the ball, cry and complain and say, I'm out, and walk away? They said, no, okay, it is what it is. Let's create our own buzz on the streets. So they went off and did their own thing. Joe wanted Slaughterhouse to do the same thing. But when you have 3 different minds who want to go do their own thing, like Royce did a Prime CD, and you have Crook, I think he did his own mixtape. Joel's doing freestyle mixes. So everybody went and did their own thing. Bottom line. But not to critique it, it's an insult.
Different, bro. We motivate niggas in a different way, man. It's like we've been in this shit for a long time. Yeah. But the motivation, my nigga, what this nigga gives, it's just different, bro. And then he got all the production to back it up. You know what I'm saying? Nigga literally like a motherfucker, like a Malcolm X type of nigga like a Malcolm X, Quincy Jones type of nigga, for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, he said you were LeBron James in the booth with your athletics, your training skills. He said about the black safety though. He said in the beginning, you kind of play a homage, and then you throw a few darts. You do what you do.
This is what it is.
You're an athlete.
You know what it is,
Okay.
Shout outs to Rap Street Hollywood. Like you say, it's game time. You ready? Here it come. Well, You gotta understand something. I never looked at a lot of different people and said, oh, I'm gonna judge them unfairly. I can only judge you by the way you treat me and the way of my interactions with you. Or if I'm judging you off the music, if I got a beef with you or something else, I gotta do it fairly. Or I'm lying to you, the people. I'm not somebody you could trust if that's the case. Oh yeah, 50 got on stage and put some hype up behind Eminem to get the game. So yeah, it's coming. Hip hop is in a whole different state now. Like, it is what it is at this point. But the way Eminem used to be and the way he is now is basically the same artist he was 4 years ago when he made Kamikaze. He has the ability to do it. So if we can get Kamikaze Eminem back, then cool. I'm cool with that Eminem. That Eminem didn't have a problem with me. I love that album, Kamikaze. Now, here is where I sway with the difference. I like creativity, and I know every bit of music that people think about as music don't always appeal to me. If I like something, I might like it because I like listening to it. It might be a beat I like, or it might be something in the beat, something in the way of the delivery that I like, what the actual person is saying. Other people like different things. Some people are like, man, the beat go hard. They have the beat go hard crew. Those guys who like the beat to go hard, if the beat ain't going hard, they're not gonna like the song. So no matter what critique you give it, that's the norm, or that's what's running, the running theme. The beat ain't going hard, I can't get behind it. Granted, we got that. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your honesty. The beat ain't going hard enough for him, so he ain't feeling it. So that's cool. But my thing is, why Joe Budden can't give us an honest critique anymore? Why he got to dump it off to his minions? To me, that's a cop-out. Because if you're going to do that and not be real and just fake the funk, you're lying to all of us. Then it's like we can't trust you. So what else are you lying about? You feel me? So it isn't just one thing, it's everything. All together or it's nothing. There's been so many times we have all sat around and said, you know what, this ain't right, or this person isn't right. Oh, what he tried to do, oh yeah, that was foul. Homeboy shouldn't have did it like that. You know, everybody has had that moment, right? No, they try to do everybody dirty in the industry. That's what they do, but they paint the narrative. That's what your PR, if you got a good PR team, that's what they supposed to do. Spin the thing to make you look good. They're supposed to keep you in the lights. They're doing their job. So I can't get mad at a PR firm for making their artists that pay them to look good. But for the people that's out there who know about music and know about what they like, how are you gonna fall for being dictated to? How you gonna fall for that? Like, you should be too smart for that. You feel me? You should be the main one saying, like, I'm too smart for this. I ain't going. I don't see how people fall for it to get tricked. Because as soon as I see it, it becomes clear to me. And when things become very clear to me, I honestly sit there and say, and y'all done heard me say it many times in videos,
I'm not mesmerized here.
oh, I'm only addressing the Deshaun Watson issue on Patreon. Because I feel if I say something like what I'm about to say, I'm going to be in trouble. In other words. So I'm going to say thank y'all for hitting the like button, supporting all of the videos, even though they've been sabotaging me all day. There's been a lot going on y'all don't know about that's been happening behind the scenes. They mad about some other stuff that went on the Patreon about LeBron and his possible baby that he had aborted. That's on the Patreon. So I was getting a lot of heat. Patreon was getting a lot of heat from that. And then they came back at me over it because I guess they got the girl to, they paid her a check. So it's a whole lot of stuff, man. If you ain't on the Car Signal for Life Patreon, you sleeping. I got everybody up in the uproar now. They all riled up. Hating on your boy, trying to stop my money. I mean, y'all have no idea. What the Cino been going through. So I'm chilling in my house, drinking a beer. Cookies and beer. Oh, let me call this chick and see if she want to see Eldridge. She like Eldridge Elba. I want to see if she want to see Eldridge fight this damn line. Eldridge gonna get tired of that damn line. Just walk out there and start smacking that 500-pound line. I'm canceling the apocalypse. Get him, Eldridge. Hit that motherfucking line. Wow. Get away from my kids. Get to that line. I gotta get nice and drunk for that. Let me call her up. But Joe Budden, you know what your new fans now are saying about your podcast?
I'm not mesmerized here.